Hey guys, and today, as you can see, we'll be looking at the new 2017 BMW 5 Series. This is the 540 M Sport. Hey, let's take a look around. So what can I tell you about the styling? Well, it's not a radical departure from traditional BMW looks, really, is it? Pretty standard and typical BMW fare, and nothing too distinctly new. Having said that, there is a bit of tech here, because if I can come into this grille, I don't know if you can make that out, but look at that. That grille is actually closed. It's sealed. Sealed? How does it get air to the engine? Well, they open up. Those little fins there, if you can make out, they actually open up. So it's a bit of an aeroactive, clever grille. This one's got these nice black M Sport accents on this car. I do like those headlights as well. Still with that angel eyes feature that BMW's made so popular way back in the 90s, or was it the 80s? But quite a distinctive car in the sense that maybe not completely different from, say, its predecessor or indeed its big brother, the 7 Series, but there is something rather handsome about it. I do like the way it sits. I do like the proportions. I like the lines, and again, that black accent on the side fender there, just below the M Sport badge, does make it stand out. It's a good looking car, particularly in this color. I like the way the light bounces off it as well. Good proportions, front, back, main cabin area and the boot space. What else can I tell you about it whilst we're looking at the car? This is, of course, is the 540. Let's come round to the back and you can see the badging. A bit more traditional at the back, I think. The 540 doesn't have a 4-litre. No, it has a 3-litre. 3-litre straight 6, producing 340 brake horsepower and 332 pounds-foot of torque. That drives the rear wheels, in this case, through an 8-speed gearbox. Now, in some markets you get an X-Drive version, which is the 4-wheel drive, but we get the rear drive, and I'm quite happy about that. I don't think we need the 4-wheel drive. You're not taking it off-roading. So what can you get out of it? What does it do, mister? 0 to 100 in 5.2 seconds. It's not bad. Not bad at all. That was supercar territory about 20 years ago. But still pretty respectable. 250 is your top speed. Not bad at all. How practical? Well, let's go and take a look at the boot. So we have a key, and if I press and hold that, it will open the boot. There you go. Coming to the boot, it's a spacious boot, as you would expect. A couple of suitcases could fit in there, I reckon. There's a hook here. You can hang stuff. Bit of netting. That's always nice to have some netting. Look, a first aid box in there. That's good, isn't it? There you go. Hidden away nicely, but accessible. A couple of hooks for netting and stuff that you want to hold down. Under the floor, oh, can't do that. There is no under the floor. Where's the toolkits then, you say? Oh, well, there's a little compartment here. Toolkits down there. Over here, you have the substantial manual. Where's the rear tire, you're asking? Well, there isn't one. This has got run flats, remember? Here we go. Into the rear compartment of the brand new 5 Series. We have an armrest. That's quite nice, isn't it? It's got a cup holder, 2 cup holders, in fact, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Rear seats, as you can see, are fixed. Probably for rigidity. BMW all about rigidity, right? Sporty drive. So this seat's not movable. No access to the rear. However, got a lot of stuff back here. Just look down here. So you've got, let's get that out of the way. You've got your full, you've got 2 AC vents and also an AC vent on each pillar as well. So 4 in total. You've got a full suite of climate controls. They're all down there. And underneath here you've got access to headphones. And look at that. We have 1 USB. I'd rather have 2 USBs. And an HDMI and an AV in. Plus more power supply things and stuff. That's quite good. And you have these screens back here which have on buttons. There you go. Now that's similar to the system that you're getting up front. In fact, I can show you, you also get a remote to work the screens. How nice. I'll keep the kids engaged for minutes, absolute minutes, and then they'll get bored and I'll ask the eternal question, are we there yet? Up here we've got lights, reading lights. Not that the kids are going to read, let's be honest. How am I doing for space? Oh, I've got space here to put, things in there, bottles and stuff. I've got a sunshade as well. There's also a rear blind, which is operated by a button on the front driver's side window area thingy. Passenger space, okay. Headroom's excellent, not too bad at all. Seats are quite comfortable. Decent enough back support, decent enough support under here. This squab could be a bit longer. They've shortened it, and they've done that in order to make the legroom look a bit more generous than it is, as you can see. And for me, this is borderline, I would say. But I am 6'2", 188 centimeters approximately. So this is borderline for me. I'd be all right, but over a long distance, this bit here is going to start irritating my shins. But foot space is all right, and knee room is just about okay. So not too bad. But up front, there's a lot of cool stuff. Let's go have a look at that. Here we are. I should have just mentioned really that this front seat obviously is also set for me. So maybe for regular sized passengers and drivers, the rear compartment would be fine. Just in my case, it was perhaps a little bit of a squeeze. So here we are inside the BMW, and looks like an all digital instrument panel. It is actually an all digital instrument panel, but it does have these sort of areas here which are fixed. That's an actual thing. So the panel works behind it, and that just sort of accentuates and highlights the so that's quite neat actually. It can change if I go into sport mode. You see, it all goes red. I like red. Red means sport. M sport. There's the M right in the middle there. Comfort, or I can have eco. Why would I want to do that? It's got blue in this case. Eco is always either blue or green. I think the dials are sort of greenish. But nah, you know what? Most of the time I've left this car in comfort as I've been driving it. Lot of gizmos and gadgets. Look at that massive, massive screen. Can you make it out there? Can you just see that? Look at that. Now, this is an iDrive system, or it's a derivative of an iDrive system. But it doesn't have that multiple directional thing that it used to have. It has a thing here, you know, which is all fingerprint dirty, obviously. You can rotate that, or you can just go on top like that, obviously. And they've got all the buttons as well, down there and down here. I just want to show you, because this is, like I said, you scroll through all the different sections now, you know, with your connected drive and all that. It's got some of that BMW 7 Series stuff they introduced with the concierge system, where you can call somebody and they help you. That person's halfway around the world, but they'll tell you where the nearest Galak Chai place is. Okay, maybe not Galak Chai. Climate control. No cool seats in this car. I was a bit surprised about that, really. Start stop button there. Controls on the steering. I don't want to go into too much of this. A lot of this is very similar. I ain't got enough time to go into. There's a lot of detailed stuff here. I will show you some of the quality. That's quite nice. I like that. There's a USB there. One USB there, one USB in the back. Power supply, cup holders. I like. See, that's how you do it. That's nice. Take note, some other manufacturers who I won't name, Maserati. This also, Maserati. They have a similar system to this. BMW have had this system for a while, and it did my head in. But this one's improved. Somehow, put my foot on the brake. It's a lot more distinctive. So the notchiness, it tells you, and there's a park. So somehow I don't struggle so much with this one when I'm trying to do three-pointed turns and getting into reverse gear and stuff. It seems to work a lot better. So that's quite good. Camera here, traction off. It's always good for a BMW. E-brake. What have we got in here? We've got a compartment. That's where the remote is, remember? Seats are quite comfortable. Very, very comfortable indeed. And look at this, the camera. I can't show you right now, but that camera has all kinds of tricks. You know, for example, it will show you the outside of the car. So when you're reversing against the pavement, it's as if there's a man standing on the pavement with the camera looking down at the car. I don't know how it does that. There isn't a camera that sort of extends itself out of the boot and then looks back at the car. It just kind of figures out its surroundings and then projects the car into the surroundings. It's very, very clever. And as you're reversing, as you're parking, it'll change multiple angles. So as you're getting closer to the pavement, it will go to an overhead view to show you precisely how far you are away from the curb or the bumper of the next car. It's very clever. But also there's a lot of red stuff. There's a lot of lines and a lot of stuff like that on there. And things that beep and, you know. Talking about things that beep, you press that. And if I can get out of the camera. Can I get out of the camera, please? There you go. No. Let's go into another camera view. I'm in park. Right? I'm in park. So can I have the menu? Menu. Now can I show you this? There you go. These are all the safety systems on the car. So the lane keep assist and the anti-collision and all of that. Blah, de, blah, de, blah. And if you keep it all on, it drives me bonkers because I'm constantly fighting the steering wheel. And it reminded me of the 7 Series. 7 Series had too much of this. 7 Series really didn't want you to drive. It really did not want you to participate in the driving process at all. This one, not so bad, because you can go into individual, configure individual, and then you can change how much interference it will give you and what aspects it will give you. Although the pedestrian one you can't turn off. So pedestrians, you're all right. You're all right, because the BMW will look after you despite what the driver says. That's all right. That's not a bad thing, I suppose. But the other stuff you can, the steering intervention. Oh, I hate the steering intervention. But you can turn on and off those things. Going back to this bit, you can actually do something even cheekier. If I go back, hang on. Let me try and go back. Menu, right? If I go all off, you see there, I have to press and hold for 3 seconds. I'm sure that's more than 3 seconds. And it's all gone off. See? It's gone orange around there. So enough jibber jabber. It's got a stereo system, very nice stereo system. Not one of the best though. Not one of the best, but very nice. Enough jibber jabber. Time to drive. It's a BMW 5 Series. All about driving, right? Okay, leave that running. Put my belt on. Okay. There you go. We're into drive. It's got manual mode. I can go across manual. It's got paddle shifts. 8-speed, remember. Septronic, as they call it. ZF to everyone else. Quiet. ZF. There we go. And very, very smooth ride, I've got to say. Very good ride on this car, especially in comfort mode. You know, despite the sport wheels and the sporty suspension. But yeah, over a bump here, on and off it, a little bit of a jolt, as you'd expect. It's a bump, right? But very, very smooth, very settled, very controlled, just as you'd expect from a BMW. Punchy acceleration, this is just in comfort. But you can hear the engine. It's got that nice straight 6 hum. Very silky, very smooth. But it's got an acceleration. I mean, again, remember, 0 to 100, 5.2, a little bit quicker if you engage all the M Sport stuff, I think. We just go into red zone. Although I've had to slow for this roundabout because cars, isn't it? Traffic. But let's go once around the roundabout. And yeah, a little bit of understeer. A little bit of understeer. I'm surprised about that. Does have a little bit of a press steer. But post understeer, it tightens up. And again, checking it into now this one. Yeah, pretty good control, good response to steering. Steering feel not quite there. Put it back into comfort because we are in town. Steering feel, you know, because it's all this electronic steering stuff, you know. So not quite what I would have hoped for, but certainly accurate, certainly responsive. Like I said, if I go back into sport again. And of course, you got plus. You see, plus is where it'll probably get that 4.8 time. Just a little bit of a hesitation there before it kicks down, and then the turbos kick in, and off it goes. But once it does, it's pretty intense. You know, it's pretty unrelenting, the acceleration in this car. Just as you would expect for a BMW. Let's go down here a little bit so we can talk to you. But really, this particular 5 Series, although it has the M Sport and although it has that great performance, that low down torque, very distinctive feature of the BMW straight sixes, the low down torque, the instant torque that you get, really, really helps. And really, really gives you that punchy acceleration when you need it. You don't have to wait for it, not too much at least. When you need it, it's there. A nice distinctive feature of the blue and white propeller. So you can be confident about the performance, you can be confident about the ride, you can be fairly confident about the handling. I haven't been able to take it up into some nicer roads to give it a tryout, but I imagine it should do all right. I have to say I can't wait for the inevitable M5 version of this, because I suspect that should be quite good. Even though this is a slightly bigger car, but it is slightly lighter. Apparently they've taken 100 kilograms out of the chassis. Don't know how they've done that, but they have. Very quiet, very refined. Again, as you would expect, very smooth. But very, you know, it's a nice environment to be in. You know, turn on those Harman Kardon speakers, and you know, you get a nice sound system in here as well. So overall, then, for the money, what was it? Starting at 314,000 dirhams and around $86,000. Bit on the pricey side. But you're getting a certain level of quality, certain level of prestige, I gotta say it's more sensible pricing than maybe some of the other BMWs in the range. But yes, a little bit on the pricey side. Having said that, it's actually quite a good car. I quite like this. I gotta be honest with you. I like this more than the 7 Series. I'd be absolutely honest with you, I did not like that 7 Series. I would go as far as to say I detested and vehemently was annoyed at that 7 Series, because the 7 Series just to me is not a car that wants you to drive it. It wants you to just sit in the back and just enjoy the toys. This car has a little bit of element of like, no, get in the front, give the chauffeur a day off and take it for a cruise. So I quite like that about this car. So there you go. Check it out. That's our review. Thumbs up, pretty much. Go check it out. Tell us what you think in the comments below and elsewhere. And do please follow us on social media. We are Motoring Middle East. Just search for Motoring Middle East on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You'll find us, and of course on YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then please do like, share, and hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me, Shahzad Sheikh, on all of the usual media channels, and find out what we get up to here at MME here in Dubai in the UAE. Thanks so much for watching. Until the next one. So we just parked this car, and looking at the 360, we've noticed two interesting things on this BMW 540 M Sport, the latest model. One is that it shows you where the doors are going to open till, so you know if you're going to hit another car or not. Secondly, if you notice, these proximity alert things are actually moving, and I think they're moving because the branches and the leaves behind are swaying, and therefore the proximity sensors are actually moving too. How extraordinary. Look at the reaction speed.
But there's no leaf there.
What's it reacting to then?
Who knows? Jinns?
Ghosts.
Jinns.
The BMW 5 Series can detect ghosts.
That's it. It's a ghost hunter.
There's the headline.
There
Ghost
we go.
hunter car. Supernatural, guys. Get this.
Buy a 5 Series.